and good evening, and welcome to Thfc till I die, your home of Tottenham past, present, and an exciting future under Ange Postecoglou and the way at season's end. But listen, I'm alone here for a few minutes. Tonight is Tequila's and Column's show, as we're doing a bit of a shake-up on hosting duties. So tonight, Tequila is your host. Right, we've had a bit of a mix-up. I'll read the statement out, and then I'll explain quietly what's happening. Due to a mix-up with YouTube, and our YouTube channel and ourselves, YouTube channel memberships will be unavailable for the time being. We are working with YouTube to resolve the issue. So in the meantime, you can still support us using the Patreon link, which is in the top of the corner in the comments. Yeah, there's been a mix-up between ourselves and YouTube. A misunderstanding which has temporarily suspended our memberships. So anyone with memberships that are running out, they won't renew. And anyone that has bought memberships and renewed them, we are in discussions with YouTube to get you a refund. So it's either going to come from us or it'll come from YouTube, but you will get your money back. But do please hit the Patreon link. It's the only way that you can support us for the time being, and we can do with all the support we can get. And also please hit the like button and subscription. So we do apologize about this, but at the moment we are in the middle of trying to sort this out with YouTube, so sorry about this. Tequila, Colin, anything you want to add, and then I will bow out and leave the show to you, lads.
There is a Patreon, guys. As you can see, there's demos mentioned, so if you want to support us there, that would be great while we try and fix this issue that we've got. But no, Dem, I think you said it all, mate. I think you said it all.
Okay. Well, listen, enjoy the show, lads. I will be back tomorrow with the watch along. So it's over to Tequila and Colin. Enjoy the show, lads. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
There we go. Let's put you back around. There we go.
Back centre stage. There we are. Centre stage. Right, how are you, Com? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Obviously, been a very busy day. Sorting out a lot of new stuff, channels and everything. But yeah, it's been a good day. It's been a good day. How are you, mate?
I'm all right. Quite excited. This is the first kind of show where it's just you and me. Tequila Tuesdays, so I'm doing Tuesdays. We'll have to see how we get on. But no, I'm happy to be it. And what have we got to talk about then, Com? What have we got?
Oh, we've got a lot of things to talk about, but I think the first thing to talk about is Demo's left, so he's took all of the PDFs with him. Fantastic.
So he's taking all of them with him, has he?
Yes, he's taken them all with him. He's left them all. I don't know whether they're going to be in there anymore. Oh, yes, they are. Fantastic. They are still here. Bear with me. Here we go. This is what he wanted to talk about first, mate. So I'll let you read it, or I can read it, or whatever.
No, I can read it. It's fine. So let me grab my glasses. Got to be professional here. Grab my glasses. Joe Roden, eh? Well, he didn't quite get promoted with Leeds, did he, in the end?
No. But this is Timo Werner.
Timo Werner, yeah. So this is just recently, isn't it? This is more or less just hit us in the last couple of hours. Timo Werner, right. So Tottenham are in our advanced talks to keep Timo Werner at the club for one more season. So as a loan, to extend the loan we had for 6 months. It will be valid from July 2024 to June 2025 with the same conditions of the loan agreed in January. So I'm assuming that's whatever percentage of the wages we were covering, I assume that will be the same and everything like that. Well, as a Tottenham fan, I've seen a lot worse players than Timo Werner come to us. But I will be honest with you, Com, and saying that it doesn't exactly fill me with confidence. Backing up what Andrew's saying about us challenging for the league and stuff like that. With all due respect to Timo Werner, I don't think if you want to be challenging in that top four, let alone for the title, I don't think Timo Werner is the kind of player you want. The argument is that he's coming in as a squad player, and that's fair enough. And we do have more games because of the Europa, and hopefully we'll take the two domestic cups more seriously as well. My only issue is just like, that probably means that next season we'll have on the left wing, it will be Sonny and Timo Werner. And I doubt there'll be any more coming in on that side. I wouldn't have thought. We might keep Solomon as kind of the backup to the backup. And I just don't think he's required quality. And it does smack a little bit of the Levy penny pinching that he's known for. Now, I hope I'm wrong and that's not the case. But I can see from the kind of more jaded fans looking at it, while a lot of them are going to be unhappy and think, oh, this is more of the same. This is more Levy penny pinching, not wanting to spend the money. I'll reserve that judgment, Com, until the end of the window, because if we're saving money on this deal so we can make a big signing somewhere else, for example, mate, then I think you'd accept it. So I think you actually have to wait until the end of the window, which hasn't even opened yet. But it's not the first signing I think most of us wanted. I could be wrong in that, but how do you see it? Obviously, coming from a Man United perspective, I mean, would you have him at United?
Well, I mean, people are saying it in the chat there that Tottenham have announced it. It is scrolling across the bottom that it has been agreed. Obviously, Dermo's got this information, and just we're running with what we've got. So massive credit to Dermo for sorting this out for us to begin with. But yeah, I mean, on the Timo thing, you know what? I would have had him 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had Timo last season. I wouldn't have had him at Chelsea's. You know, I mean, I'm just looking at some of his stats. I know, obviously, he's played majority on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
But even then, is looking at that 13 appearances, 2 goals, 3 assists. It's not enough, really.
It's not great, is it?
No, it's nowhere near enough to Keeler, to be fair. Especially when you look at what some of the other players in his position are actually doing in the Premier League.
It's just, I mean, if you bring him on at the 80th minute, because obviously he's got pace, I can see some value there, but I just don't think you're going to want to be starting him. And as a squad player, right, he is going to start. I mean, if Sonny gets injured, for example, right, or then he's your starting player. And I just don't think that he has that kind of for where we want to be. If we want to challenge for 6, then he's probably okay for that. But if you're talking about trying to go to that next level, he's not the player that's going to give you that. And if you want to have somebody who's going to compete with Sonny on that left-hand side, I think we need somebody who's got closer ability to Sonny. I think that he's a massive drop-off. And at Spurs, we've always had these. We've never been able to have a proper squad. We've always had these good first 11, and then it's a massive drop-off.
Yep.
And this is just more of the same. I'm not saying he's like as bad as Eric Dyer, for example, right? But he's a player where, as you said, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe, but he's 28, 29. It is only a loan. So I guess the argument is, well, it's not going to cost us anything other than the wages. And I don't know what he's on a week. I don't know if that number's out there, Com, about what he's on a week. But I would say not for me, but it's going to give a lot of the people on the Levy outside, significantly on the Levy outside. It does give them more ammunition, mate. There's no way around it. It does.
Yeah.
When
he's on £165,000 a week.
I consider that a lot of money. Maybe it's not anymore.
Well, I mean, compared to some, I mean, I'm not going to say anything about wages because we spend stupid money. But I just want to put into comparison, obviously, this Timo Werner. I know you got him on loan and everything, but I just want to put him in comparison to another left midfielder or left winger called Alfie Doherty. Now, everybody, if they've watched a bit of football last season, will know he's a Luton player. He played 37 times, scored twice, and assisted 8 goals. Compared to Timo's, what was it, 13, 2 and 1.
Yep.
I'd
rather get him. Yeah, easily. It wouldn't be. I'd rather go for something like that, or you got to be careful getting into the realms of like Football Manager and like FIFA and stuff like that by naming all these kind of wonder kids and stuff like that. I know that the real world's not like that, but I just can't. I can't shake the feeling that it's just. It's an easy deal to do, so that's why we've done it, because it's easy. It's easy, But the bottom line is, Com, is that so many years we've criticised Levy for not backing their manager. If this is the player that Ange is happy with and wants, and it really is that, then it doesn't matter what I say or think. Then I want Werner to join because Ange wants him. It doesn't matter what I think. So, but as long as Ange has said okay, then okay, that we'll take this cheap or less financial option. So we've got an extra 20 million or whatever that we would have spent, or 30 million to spend on a proper striker. If that's how they're looking at it, then I suppose that's fine. But it's just too early, really, to put the whole puzzle together.
I mean, this Joe here makes a good comment, Keelan. Obviously, you're in a better position to actually, answer these questions what I am. But the saying here, how does it fit in with the previous news that we have big transfer plans to blow everyone else out the water? It does. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I like to stir the pot. This is not a big signing.
Away, mate. You stare away.
This is not a big signing. This isn't a step forward. Timo Werner's got fans, but this is not a step forward. This is not what you're being promised.
It's not a statement signing, and it reeks of. They like you, but Levy and Spurs. The Spurs board is always, whenever they talk about transfers, they always talk about opportune transfers, and that's what they always work with: opportune transfers. And this reeks of an opportunity transfer. I am actually a little bit surprised we actually didn't buy him for 16 or 17 million, because in today's market that actually is nothing. So I'm actually surprised that we didn't actually just say it's just buy the guy. And you'll probably get your money back in a couple of years if you want to sell him, because it's such a low amount. But the fact that we've gone for another loan, I don't know. I have to believe that we're saving money to put towards, we realise we've got to buy a striker, and a quality striker is going to be at least 70 or 80 million. I mean, I'll wait to see if that ever happens, because Levy's never spent that amount before. The biggest player obviously we ever did buy was obviously Ndombele, and that was such a train wreck that it's made Levy even more gun shy, in my opinion, regarding spending that kind of money. So it seemed like a cheap option. It's not a statement signing, and I know I can already feel it, even though I haven't gone there, that it's going to make a lot of people who are already kind of unhappy on that side. It's just going to add more fuel to the flames, bruv.
Yeah,
more fuel to the flames.
He kind of deserves it, I suppose.
Well, he doesn't help himself, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Got Boris Britt in the chat here as well.
Hold on. There we go.
Yeah, the reason Timo is staying since Gil is possibly going and Ivan Toney is leaving, so he is needed for depth. Sorry, he means Ivan Perisic, my bad.
Yeah, Perisic.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. We are losing Perisic. So you could say a like-for-like replacement for Perisic. I mean, other than the fact he doesn't really play left-back, whereas Perisic can.
I can't remember the last time Perisic even played for you.
He was injured all year, mate. That's why I don't think he played at all. So it's a shame. He's a good player. He's best crosser of the ball we've got as well. So we could have used that, but no, it's maybe that's what Ange's thinking. Maybe he's thinking, you know what, we're losing Perisic as well. Gil's days are numbered, by the way, Com. Looking at that left side, though, yeah, it's going to be Sonny, Werner, and it's going to be probably Solomon, if he's not sold as well, as maybe the understudy to those two, I suppose.
I'm gonna get people coming at me with pitchforks.
Go on then.
I think you should get rid of Son. He's not good enough anymore.
Depends on who's off, how much they're offering, because the commercial side of keeping him, this stuff
side's massive.
Exactly.
The performance side on the pitch, he's not doing enough anymore.
I agree, but saying that, you're still our top goal scorer. I agree with you that he's not hitting the heights he once did, but he's still our top goal scorer, and we really lack in the final third. We really lack goal scorers. It's a massive problem, Carl. If you get rid of Sonny, how much do you think you'll get from there?
Oh, it depends where he goes. If he goes over to the Saudi League, you've easily got 65, 70 million there for him. I don't think you'll send him to another Premier League. If he goes Bundesliga, I think you'll get about 40, 45. You'll still get a decent amount for him. But
for his age, yeah, for his
it's for his age.
41. I don't know. I think I'd probably keep him, but keep him if there was someone else coming in who I thought was as good as, or maybe even better, but there isn't. and Werner certainly is not as good as or better than him. So if we're gonna keep Sonny, I'd like to see someone of a higher quality than Werner coming in. But I don't know. In the chat, we've got Boris Bitt was saying, no offense to these fans. No one thought Mickey was a big signing. Agreed. No one thought Pepe was a good signing. No one thought and Doggy was a great signing as well. And no one thought Vicario was a great one. It's true. Did you know Vicario before he joined us?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
I watch a lot of goalkeepers. To be fair, I do like watching them because it's what I am. I'm a goalkeeper myself. So I create little videos, and I created a stats thing for Dermo to put on this channel.
Really?
Yeah, it's somewhere on this. And I gave him like a rating of what he does well in each position and everything like that. You know, his handling, his coming out and commanding of his areas and all that stuff. Yeah, I've known Vicario for a while. Vicario is a great goalkeeper, and he's only going to get better. He's only young, so he's got loads of improvement to come.
Yeah, well, we seem to get, as you know, probably this is still the Paratici effect in the background. We seem to obviously get the majority of the signings nowadays from Serie A or the Italian leagues. So, yeah, let's go to a comment here from Leslie Nielsen just quickly. Werner is only on loan as a backup to Sonny. That's right, on the left wing. He will free up more money for a striker. Well, that's kind of what I said, Leslie. If that's where the extra money is going to go, then I suppose that's fine. But as Com said, apparently, you know, this is meant to be blowing people out of the water and stuff like that this year. And if so, then it doesn't kind of fit with that, does it? This signing doesn't fit with that kind of mentality. So we'll have to wait and see still.
And this comment here, like I said, I'm here to stir the pot a little bit now. 17 goals, 10 assists for Sonny. Fantastic, Sonny. You got 17 goals. That was only what? 2 behind Dominic Solanke.
Yeah.
1 behind Salah, which is actually really, really good. Mateta was only 1 behind Son. Jared Bowen was only 1 behind Son. Cole Palmer for Chelsea got 22. Isaac got 21. Phil Foden got 19. Yeah, these are the people like when you look at that, okay, Man City, you can kind of to score goals, you know, you can forget about that. But when you're getting outscored, and you can't say it's because Son's been playing out on the left, because he has played it through the middle quite a lot this season for Spurs, from what I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, he's been more or less rotating with Richarlison, to be honest.
So
we haven't got a third striker.
No, this is what I'm saying. So he's been playing as a striker, sort of. 17 goals, you know.
Yeah, there's a comment here from Boris Bitt. I don't see this being a huge signing. It seems just like a depth signing, but the main signing I feel is still coming. Boris, when you say that, do you mean a main signing on the left wing? I mean, if we were to sign another player on the left wing, so we'd have what, three players for that side, 3 first-team players. Normally, you don't have that. So, if that's what you mean, who do you think it would be to come on the left wing then? And would that mean you'd put Sonny as what as a striker then? But if we're buying another striker as well, so
Sonny's not a striker.
No, I don't think so. Leslie Crawford here. Sonny missed how many games while he was at the Asia Games? I think it was 3, wasn't it? 3 or 4?
I think
in January.
4. Yeah.
And then Leslie's also put how many of Son's goals were penalties. Palmer had 9. Yeah, Palmer did have a lot of those.
So Son had what, 17 goals?
Yeah.
Yep. That was only 3 more than Nicholas Jackson, who couldn't hit a barn door with a machine gun.
God, yeah.
And he went away with the AFCON as well.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was I'd say it was an average season by Sonny. I don't think you could say it's any more than an average season by him.
All I'm saying is he's not a striker. He's not a goal scorer.
No.
You know, you need somebody in ASAP.
Yeah, and
like I said, I'm here to wind people up today.
No, I know. I love you stirring the pot, dude. Keep doing it. Keep stirring that pot. Cauldron of madness. Should we talk about Joe Rodon then?
Yes, let's go talk about Rodon. To the worst team in the world.
your favourite team, Leeds United. I'm sure you were having a party when they didn't get promoted.
I did.
The other day.
I did.
I mean, Joe Rodon. We bought him from, if unless I'm wrong, we bought him from Cardiff. I could be wrong on that. I think we did. So, and I think they were a championship team at the time. So I think that was kind of like, I think he's found his level. With all due respect, I think he's found his level. He never really got that much of a chance at us, to be honest. But he was under several managers, several well-known defensive managers, Jose and Conte, and none of them ever really gave him the light of day. So they must see something in training that no, he's not good enough for the Premiership. So we held on to him for a long time, and he went on loan to the French league, I believe, at the end of last year. I'm not sure which team off the top of my head.
Stade Rennes.
Was it Rennes? And
It was Rennes.
I don't think he set the world alight over there either. I don't think he even played that much. I didn't follow it every game, but I'm pretty sure on the loan stuff that I saw that he didn't exactly set the world alight. So then we sent him off to Leeds, and I think that it's just the right level for him. I'm not sure he's a Premiership defender, so maybe it's a blessing in disguise a little bit. The only thing is, our Leeds going to have the money to buy him.
Wow. I mean, his current value is 8 million.
Yeah. I mean, I reckon he'd probably be willing to go, because I think maybe he probably realizes that it's a good fit for him. And the Leeds fans seem to like him for everything I've seen. So I think he's quite liked there as well. So I think it's a good place for him. Would we be willing to give him another year loan? Do you know how much length of time is on his contract?
I believe he's contracted until. Oh no, that's his loan contract, I believe. No, it's not got his actual contract on the exit. It says 31st, 2024 of May. That'll be his loan contract, won't it? No, it doesn't tell me on here. But I mean,
assuming he's got a couple of years left on his Spurs contract, then I suppose we could always just extend the loan like we're doing.
Oh, there you go. June 30th, 2025.
Oh, so 2025.
We've got a year.
Yeah, so we're gonna want to sell him now then.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I've seen Rodon at Leeds.
What do you think of him?
I think he is a very comfortable top half championship defender to lower Premier League. I don't think he's quite good enough to reach the heights where Spurs need him to be. But I think like a Wolverhampton or a West Ham or a Burnley or something like that, I think he'd do fine. I really do.
Yeah, so maybe Leeds would be willing to actually shell out the money, then even if they didn't go up. If he's good enough, to play in the Premiership as a low half team, then I guess it's in their best interest. I mean, looking at some of the chat here, Con, as well. Yeah. It was from Swansea, not Cardiff. Yes, sorry, Boris. I knew it was one of the Welsh teams. Boris Britt saying I feel that he's a mid-table style defender. Yeah, that's more or less what we said. Yep. Yeah, and then underneath, Tony Young saying good for Wales. Yep. Yeah, he's done all right internationally. He's not bad in that team. Leslie Crawford saying the academy players have only played against other kids. I watched them lose at Fulham 4-0, and none of them are ready for Spurs first team. They need to go out on loan. Fair enough.
Yeah, you tend to find that with your academy players anyway. Yeah,
and Boris Britt again. Well, we now see that Kim Young-jae had one good season. Now look, he's been benched for Dyer at Bayern. Oh wow!
I don't know how.
I don't know how either.
I really don't.
Well, he was really good for Napoli, as we know, Boris. So I mean, yeah,
I think he'll be all right.
I think he'll be all right. But I think Rodon. I think we should probably. I suppose you're selling to Leeds for a little bit of a cut price. I suppose you say, okay, we'll just give you a bit of a deal on him since you guys didn't come up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to be covering, guys, just to let you know that we are going to be covering the finals of the Europa League and the Conference League and the chat. We're going to be covering all of them over the next couple of days. So we are going to be doing watch-alongs for all of the finals of the European competitions, just to let you guys know. But Spurs and Man United, possible Europa League opponents. We're going to have a chat about them. Com, do you think we've got a chance? Do you think you've got a chance next year, the Europa League?
I fully expect it to be Spurs United final. That's what I expect.
Really? You really expect a Spurs United final?
Yep, I do. We are supposed to have the best league in the world. The Premier League is supposed to be the best league in the world with the best players coming in, the best managers, the best everything. So I fully expect a Spurs Manchester United final.
We're going to be two of the favourites. There's no getting around that.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you think the kind of quality of the teams will play? Do you think, I mean, how does Man United normally treat Europa League? Do they actually go full force into it? Do they
have done in the
play
past.
the best teams? Yeah.
We have done in the past. We've won the cup in the past.
Yeah,
Jose
right.
Mourinho won it with us. I think it all depends on where we are in the league as well. Because obviously, if we're challenging for the Premier League, I don't think we really care that much, to be fair. But if we go to penalties, then we're done, completely done. And if we get Seville, we're done. Or any Spanish team.
Seville will kind of dominate this competition, man. That's where Andy Ram was before he came to Spurs. He was.
This is their competition.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
What is it with these Spanish teams? And they're like holds over these European competitions like Real Madrid and Sevilla.
God knows.
So they are, as you see in the images here, guys, they are changing this all for next year. So all of the European competitions, or at least Europa League and the Champions League, are changing. So let's just read this out, shall we? Okay, so the Champions League and Europa League will look slightly different from next term onwards, as they will no longer operate with 32 teams, split into 8 groups of 4. Instead, there will be 36 teams involved in one big, gigantic league table. So the clubs will play 8 different sides in the league phase, with 4 games at home and 4 away, to determine the fixtures for the newly formed league phase. The teams will be ranked in 4 seeding pots, and each team will then be drawn to play 2 opponents from each pot. Does it sound more complicated than it is, Com?
Yeah, it's just the Super League.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's the Super League. They've just changed it from a knockout format. A 4-team league to, let's just put everybody in a league and earn more money from doing that. Basically, that's the next slide. So yeah.
So it's mainly all coming down to money as normal, as we know. But and this is what we fought all season, and so United fought all season to get into. So this is it. And I don't know if it's going to be the final Man United versus Spurs but I think that if we want to, and alongside you guys, we could easily get to the final of this. And since it's all about winning stuff, then I hope, at least on the Spurs side, I hope that Ange does take it seriously. I hope that he does. I hope that I don't actually want us to throw all the kids in right away. If we're leading a game, that's fine. Throw them on, and there's 10 minutes left. That's fine. But I actually don't want us just to use this tournament as a place just to throw the kids in. I actually wanted to take it really seriously. I'd like to win it. It's been such a long time since you've won anything in Europe, I tell you, or anything full stop.
Yeah, I mean, judging from what I'm seeing, obviously in the Manchester United world things, I want United to win this because I think it's the only chance we're getting into the Champions League next season. Now we keep forgetting that there is another English club in this competition, because I'm sure West Ham won the Conference League.
West Ham won the Conference League, but last year, didn't they?
So they're qualified for Europa League, aren't they now?
What, West Ham?
Yeah.
Yeah. So West Ham are also going to be in it.
Yeah, I believe they will be in it. I don't know. They might not be. I don't really know. I didn't really pay much attention to the Europa League because we got knocked out of the Champions League very, very quickly.
Yeah. We're not in it this. They're not in it this year. No, it was last year they won a Conference League. I thought so. They were in it this year. Yeah,
they were in it this year. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So who is the third team then? It's Chelsea are in a Conference League, aren't they?
Chelsea are in the Conference League, and Newcastle have lost all everything.
Newcastle,
I think
they're in nothing. They're in
because of United winning the FA Cup.
Yeah. Spurs, one of the biggest teams in Europa next year for sure. I think we've got to be classed as one of the favourites, alongside yourself, really. Alongside the United as well.
Because it's third place in the La Liga goes in it, doesn't it?
Have you got third in the Liga? I haven't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a look quickly. Third in La Liga.
I'll do some.
You know
her. Boris Britt saying, don't know if he doesn't suit a back three centre back formation or what since. So that's what Tuchel shows. Okay, she's gone on about Munich. Leslie Crawford saying here, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Manchester United, Brighton, Newcastle, Villa, all further in Europe this season. He thinks the Premier League is overrated. It may be. It may be. Maybe it is a bit overrated. Maybe we can't help ourselves because obviously we're here. Boris Brett, seems Richarlison's team are discussing claims he will leave Spurs and are wanting to remain at the club. What I ain't fully against, since if we can get better of Richie than he was this season's, would be great. Yeah, my views on Richarlison, I've never thought he was that great. I think he's okay as backup, but I would not start any campaign with him as my number one striker. I never would have. But that's what we did this year, and not having that special striker might have cost us fourth in the end. Who knows? Tony Young here, seen us win Europe twice. I'm jealous of you, Tony. Been in support for 67 years. Yeah, so that's a long time, bruv. But at least you've seen it, right? Fans like us, such as myself, who've been a fan for maybe about 25, 26 years. All I've got to show is 2 League Cups. That's all I've ever seen, my friend. Leslie Crawford's here, West Ham also. Yeah, they were last year, yeah. Yeah, Boris brought me here, yeah. We know Boris, we fixed it, yeah. They were in it this year. Joe, they were in Europa the season just gone, yes. Boris Brett, we don't get an additional one since we didn't get, Our teams didn't do well enough in Europe this year to get that. Otherwise, our Spurs would have been in Champions League.
Well, I've found, I think it's the official clubs and the UEFA coefficient for it. So in pot 1 is Roma, United, Porto, Frankfurt, Tottenham, and Lazio. Then it's underneath is another pot: Sociedad, AZ Alkmaar, Olympiacos, Olympique Lyonnais, OGC Nice, which could affect Manchester United, to be fair, because obviously they're both owned by Radcliffe.
Yeah, that's right.
Athletic Club and Hoffenheim are in the other pot. And that's all it's given me at the minute.
Do any of those teams make you scared when you think of the thought of playing them? Are you like quaking in your boots at all?
Not really. Not really. I mean, Roma are a half decent side. Lazio are half decent. But no, apart from obviously your lot Spurs, no, not really.
That's what I mean. This is a real chance for us next year. I am weary that because of all this title talk, which, just from my opinion, I think it's it's fine for having at the start of the seasons have all the belief in the world, but having too much belief means that when it doesn't happen, you let you let yourself down a lot. So it's trying to find that balance. I think fighting for the league is a bit too much in one season. I know that Conte did it at Chelsea. I know so it can be done, but
No.
Just in the chat, we've got Dermo still popping his head in there. 8 for me, Tony. Yeah, so they're discussing how many trophies. All right, don't rub it in, guys. You're rubbing it in. I've seen 2. I've seen an Alan Nielsen long shot against Leicester in like 99 or whenever that was. And then I've seen Jonathan Woodgate's header, and that was nearly 15 years ago under Juande Ramos. That's all I've seen from my whole Spurs fandom. That's what I get, Com. That's what I get for my 25, 26 years, I get Jonathan Woodgate's header. That's what I get, mate.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you that you get Jonathan Woodgate's header.
Yep. And then the crowd went mild.
The crowd went mild.
The crowd went mild. It is what it is. Okay, let's have a look at these defensive stats from Spurs, shall we? Right. So this obviously the total conceded 52, which puts us 17th. What do you think about that, Com?
That's good.
Not bad.
That's not bad. It could be worse.
7 clean sheets. So Vicario was a big improvement over Reeves, but we knew that already. So he could be the player of the season for me. If Van der Ven and maybe hadn't been so bloody good, then he would easily be the second choice for me, I think. So ranked 16th in the clean sheets. The expected goals against 52 again. So that was exactly the same. The ranking was slightly lower, 18th, and the save ratio is 61, which is 19th. So I quite like those stats, Com.
I mean, save ratios good because people look at these kind of things, some of these stats like save ratio, look at it quite on a negative aspect, but 61 and being 19th isn't actually that bad. It just means, your defense in front of you has actually done its job. So you haven't had to make as many saves. Expected goals against 52, puts you 18th. Okay, that's, again, depends which way you're looking at it.
Yeah, it's not amazing, is it, that one?
No. Clean sheets, 7. But, I mean, it's Vicario's first season. This is what you got to look at as well. It's Vicario and that back line. You got to remember you brought Radu in there. Was it Destiny's debut season, or has he been there a year or two now?
No, it's his first. It's Ndoggy's first season. He was on loan in. He stayed on loan, didn't he, in the Italian league for an extra year?
Yeah. So so that's Van der Ven, Destiny, and your goalkeeper. That are all new to that back line. So when you look at it, it's actually
3
not
out of
bad.
5. No, 3 out of 5. This is their first season in the Premier League. 3 out of 5.
Yeah, exactly.
And hey, football. Hey, Chris. And Radu looks good. I do wish we would have got a bit more of a look in, and we only saw little bits of spurts from him. But maybe he was behind. Ignore what his silly agent says. That's what agents do. Maybe he was just acclimatized into, the new country and stuff like that. See, stuff like that. I think because we're on the outside looking in, we don't realize, obviously, moving to a whole new country, you're leaving all your friends behind and stuff like that. It's stuff like that. You don't just you don't just deal with that stuff overnight. It takes 6 months to a year before people get used to it. So I'd like to believe that Reducing is going to come back next season, and we'll see much more of him, and we'll see hopefully the player that we believe we were buying in January. So hopefully,
I think you will.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a good player. Yeah,
he is a very, very good player.
We saw glimpses of him. We just didn't see enough of him quite to.
No, he hasn't settled quite yet, has he? That's what it is. And I just want to go back to what you were talking about trophies. I've seen 31 in my time.
31.
31 trophies. Yeah.
I could call you spoilt kid. You're a spoilt kid.
But that's going from 1998 when I could actually understand what football was. If I did it from when I was actually born, it'd be more.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it's different worlds really. It's like, as you know, as a United fan, if you don't win something or at least a trophy, it's almost called like a mini crisis, isn't it? It's like Spurs. It's just like we've been in crisis for 25 years. No, it's not a crisis. It's just there's only so many cups There's only so many cups. There's only so much stuff people can win,
Yep,
and
there is. Not everybody can win everything.
No, and the bottom line is that we haven't been a top tier team for a long time, barring maybe 2 or 3 years under Pochettino. When yes, we probably should have got over the finish line at least one of the times that we got there. But there we are. It is what it is.
Yeah, you can't change the past. Just look towards the future.
Yep. Okay, so moving on next, guys, we're going to have a look at where do we need to strengthen. So everybody in the chat, firstly, if you can look at the top of the screen, you see the Patreon, which we could really use right now, guys. because the memberships have been paused because of YouTube. So yeah, please join Patreon if you're willing to. Thanks, that would be great. And also, guys, in the chat, if you could let us know where you think we should strengthen. So let's have a discussion. I'll let you guys give you guys a sec to write where you think we need to be strengthened. Chris is already in there. There we are. Dermo, this comes from Dermo. Dermo said, centre back, number 6 as a defensive midfielder, an attacking midfielder, and a striker. As a Spurs fan who's been watching us alongside Dermo, a backup for Van der Ven on the left side for a centre back. I think we need number 6. We've needed for many years, but I'm thinking a big beauty of a guy who's a massive dude, 6'3", 6'4", who just all he cares about is winning the ball, a destroyer, and then handing that ball off really to our more creative players. I agree with that as well. Attacking midfielder, see, it's a difficult one. It depends where you think you can play. Kulu. If you think you can play Kulu as an attacking midfielder, then you've got him and Maddison to kind of fill that function. So I don't know if we do. If you consider Kulu an attacking midfielder, if you consider Kulu a winger, even though I don't like him on the wing, then we do need an attacking midfielder, somebody who can like Ericsson used to do for us.
Yeah.
A creative force in the middle of the park, someone who can do the little through balls, somebody who's got quick on their feet, quick on their brain, who can see these little angles and get the passes through. Who is that player? I'm not sure. I don't know who we buy to compete alongside Maddison. But the problem you've got with Maddison, Calm, and I'm sure you know about players like this in your team, is that they're almost like half a season players. Like they go through these patches, they'll have 5 or 6 great games, and then he'll go disappearing for the rest of the season. And Leicester fans, before we bought him, I remember, I think it might have been David Clark, who I don't think is in the chat, who's from Leicester. He was warning everyone about Maddison, saying that you sign this guy and you're going to see some magic from him, and then you're going to see loads of games where he's completely anonymous. So you need someone else to come in there. What do you think on the attacking midfielder?
Yeah, I mean, there's not many options out there, to be fair.
Not really.
I mean, Maddison's fantastic. You know, when Maddison's on form, you know, he could pick a lock on a bank security vault with nothing but a thread of his own hair or something. He is amazing at unlocking the defense when it needs to be, and he's on the form. But when he's off form, you can see so much how the creativity just dies down. I've seen it when I've watched Spurs. I've done quite a few games with Dermo watching Spurs.
Yeah.
And I've seen the team with him on form, with him off form, and with him without form. So it's a strange one, but I don't know who you'd get to rival him, because I mean, I can't think of. I mean, I can think of one player, but I mean, I don't think you've got a chance of getting him, to be honest with you.
Who's that?
Bruno Guimaraes from Newcastle.
Yeah.
Stuff he does is great. I know Tony Young's there saying Eze, someone who gets past people. I'm sorry, I'm going to say you're not getting Eze. Unfortunately, it's a nice dream, but not getting Eze.
Bigger fish for him now, Com, than Tottenham.
Well, he's already decided where he wants to go.
Really?
They're just trying to sort out the deal. Yeah, they're just trying to sort out the deal. A little bit of paperwork and that. So,
well, the last player that Dermo's put here, and I 100% agree with him on this, which is a striker, which seems to be kind of like the thing that every team seems to be looking out for one of these. But a striker who can get you 20 goals. They're premium. There's not that many. They're at that, and you have to spend an awful lot of money. And I don't know if, again, in history says that Levy won't spend this. That is enough to get this player. So that means that we'll probably go down the route of getting a younger player who will hopefully grow into it.
Yeah. So basically, what United have done with Haaland.
Pretty much. Sorry. Yeah.
But you know
and
what?
that was 60 million you guys spent. I think eventually that'll be. I think eventually you'll consider that a great deal, but obviously
I consider it a good deal now, to be fair.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a really good player.
You know what? Honestly, I think the striker that you should be going for is in the Premier League already. 100%.
So?
Yeah, he is. I don't know. Fans are he's a very divided person. You know, with fans, I've seen people say yes. I've seen people say no. People won't touch him with a 10-foot barge pole.
You're going to say Tony, aren't you?
I'm going to say Tony. Tony would absolutely bang the goals in at Spurs. With the creativeness at the sides of him from people like Kulu and Son, or Werner or Maddison sat behind him, Ivan Toney's scoring 30-35 goals a season.
I think I agree with you. It's just that it just comes down to his public perception. His PR assistant, whoever that is, has done a terrible job with him. Because he's come across to the public who don't know him personally as a mercenary kind of guy who shows very little remorse for anything he's done wrong. I think that he still considers himself probably that he's innocent in what he did, and that probably thinks that the whole punishment was harsh. Now, I don't know him personally, neither do you, Com, so he could be a lovely chap behind the doors who's not like that at all. But that's the public perception of him. So he's done himself no favours, has he?
No, he hasn't.
So, as a football player, yeah, I agree. As a personality, I've my big doubts. But again, it comes down to money, and I think if we can get him for 40 million, which sounds like that won't happen because that sounds low even to me, then I think Levy would maybe go for it. The problem with Levy is that he doesn't tend to spend past a certain amount on players of this kind of age group. He likes players to be, and I understand it from business. He likes players to be 23. I think 23 and younger generally is the profile of players we generally go for. Yeah. And it makes sense. So that if they do flop a little bit, then there's still some value. And if they do become better players, then obviously we sell them on to make a profit, just like we did with players like Bale and stuff like that, and Modric. So he's not the kind of profile player Spurs go for. Age, he's just not. It's not the kind of signing. He should be, yeah, but it's just not the kind of signings we make. I mean, even Richarlison, that was between 50 and 60 million, depending on who you believe. But again, he was a player who I don't remember his exact age when we signed him, but I think he was under 25. Yeah. So you knew that there was going to be some sell on, and it makes sense in business. Levy's a great businessman. I've never said anything different. So that's how he values his assets. So I can't see him paying over the odds for a 28, 29-year-old. I just can't.
I mean, his 28 is worth, current market value is 50 million euros. Obviously suspended for most of this season. Only scored 4 goals, 2 assists in 17 games. Played 33 times last season, scored 20. And I actually didn't know this, but for Brentford, he's played 141 games, scored 72 times, and assisted 23. They are unbelievable stats for a striker.
I reckon because I think he's only got 1 year left as well, which will lower the price. Of course it will. I think if we can get him for 50 or under, I'd be fine with it. I don't know if Brentford will be fine with that. They might want a little bit more. But I mean, Kane only had a year left, and we sold him for 85 million. So
100 million euros, wasn't it? After all add-ons and whatnot. Yeah, his contract expires in 2025.
Yeah, so if we can get him for, I think he's a much better striker than Richarlison has, and we spent 50, 55 million whatever on Richarlison. But as I said before, Richarlison was a much younger player, so we knew we could probably get our money back, or at least some of it back, if he doesn't work out.
The thing is with me, why I look at Tony for you guys, obviously he's a good goal scorer. He's a fantastic goal scorer. But I kind of see him doing the role, and I don't like bringing his name up because you've moved on from him. But I see the role of Harry Kane in him because Tony does drop in and he does collect the ball, and he's got that pace to spin players and run, which Kane didn't have. Tony's a fast player as well. I think, honestly, I think if you got Tony this window, Spurs have become a very, very dangerous side.
I'm all for getting it. I'm trying to look at it from the experience that obviously being a Spurs fan of Levy and just seeing patterns and what he does, and I would love to be proven wrong. I think a lot of us would be, but I would struggle to see him spending more than, if you say his market value is, say, 40 million, then if Levy goes above 50 million, I'll be surprised for him. And will Brentford is that enough for Brentford? I don't know.
I think they'll take 50 million. He's got 1 year left in his deal, and I don't think he's got any intention of signing a new contract.
Thing is, just will he want to come? Because does he feel now he wants to make the jump to the Champions League? And obviously we didn't get that this year. So would that stop him coming? Would he, is there other options for him?
There's no Champions League clubs looking at him. Arsenal aren't looking at him. They're looking at other people.
Arsenal don't want him either.
No, Arsenal don't want him because they're looking at younger talent. Obviously, Man City have got Erling Haaland, so he's not going there anytime soon.
Yeah.
Liverpool, I've got Nunez, but they're on about signing another young striker, so Tony's not there in that one. And Villa won't go near him, I don't think, either, because they've got Ollie Watkins.
They've got Watkins, that's right, yeah.
I know Man United are looking at him.
Would you take him at United, Tony?
Oh, I'd take him every day. Every day. He'd be perfect to lead the role or play alongside Rasmus. 100%.
Yeah. No, I think, and if you look at the chat as well, quickly, pretty much everyone is saying that they would like Tony. There's a lot of people all saying that he's versatile and is stuff like that. So I think the fan base, based on obviously a small sample size from the great people here, are all for it, and I think I would be as well. I think it makes sense if my mate Danny Levy is willing to kind of realise that he's probably not going to get any sell on. Probably, I mean, if he comes in here and then we keep him for 4 or 5 years, and he'll be 32, 33. So yeah, you might not get that much back, but that's 5 years down the road. Do you know what I mean? So,
I mean, there's nothing stopping you by putting Tony on a 4 or 5 year deal. Let's say you sign him, sticking him on a 5 year deal, and then obviously Harry Kane's going to be gone by that point. What if Bayern Munich come in and want Tony, because obviously they've had Harry Kane from you guys, who are a prolific striker, and Tony's now taking that step from Brentford to Tottenham, which is a bigger club. It's got more eyes on it. He's banging in 35 goals a season as well. Let's go get Tony.
We're turning into Bayern Munich's feeder club, mate. They've already got Kane and Dyer, so we're
exactly. So Tony's your next one for 120 million euros.
Yeah. Chris Met Football TV, get on the Dog and Bone Tech. Yeah, I'd love to have a long conversation with my mate Danny. I had a long conversation with my mate Danny. Discuss a lot of things for him.
I'll give you his number later.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you can be the mediator.
I'll be mediator.
Yeah. Okay, so the key dates coming up for Spurs. Obviously, the fixture list, of course, that will be coming out. What date's that outcome? Remind me.
I've got no idea. The demo's done all this for us to talk about and then dipped.
And he hasn't put the date, key dates. Did he put the dates at all?
No,
off the top of my head, I don't believe.
Sure. There you go. Fixture list is there. He's put that there.
Yeah, so the fixture schedule for the 24-25 season revealed on. Okay, so it's actually not that far away. It's literally about 3 weeks.
3 weeks away.
Yeah, so 3 weeks. We'll get. Yeah, Boris, that's right. Yeah, 18th of June. So 3 weeks. So season's just stopped, and we're getting the fixtures already for the next one. And then you've got obviously the transfer window, June 14th, isn't it? That's when that opens.
Yes, it is.
So looks like we've already made our first signing. If Werner's joined, which I believe has been official now. So there you go. We've already made a signing already. It's not the signing I think most of us wanted, but it's still a signing.
18th of June, Boris Britt is saying. We got officially opens 14th of June on here. Hashtag blame Dermo. Don't blame us. It's Dermo's fault.
Yeah, I think he means 18th of June is when the fixtures come out. I think that's what he means.
Yeah, June 18th. No.
Yeah. The transfer obviously starts on the 14th of June. Although, to be honest, the transfers are probably already happening. Loads of things have probably already been agreed. I always find it funny thinking about transfers. Like some people think like they're on their phone, but they're not ready to press the button until it actually hits midnight on June 14th before they do anything. Like,
yeah,
no.
They've got it all. They've got it all like what we set up: standing orders, direct debit, and stuff. Just like that, it's all to go midnight, bang on.
Chris has pulled me up, as Chris always does, because he loves his facts. Does Chris Meta Football TV? Yeah, it's actually the second signing. That's right. The kid Bergvall will actually come in. That's true. So technically, Werner wasn't our first signing, I suppose. I guess Werner's our second.
No.
Joy. That's me not being too excited about Werner. Yeah, you do owe me, mate. You do owe me, Chris. Nah. Okay. Take it. There's a question here from Lou. I'll just take this one. Can you see Gallagher joining Spurs? What do you think about Gallagher as a United fan? What do you think about Conor Gallagher?
I think he is overrated. Not as giftedly talented as some of the other players out there. And I am not sure why Spurs fans are so hyped up about wanting to see him in a Tottenham shirt. I don't understand it.
I kind of agree. I'm not sure he's significantly better than what we have. Really. I mean, he might be slightly better than... I mean, he's better than Højbjerg, I think. But, I mean...
I'd keep Højbjerg.
You keep Højbjerg over Gallagher?
I'd keep Højbjerg over Gallagher. Yeah, 100%. Gallagher might be younger, but at least Højbjerg actually looks like he gives a darn on the actual pitch.
That's
Gallagher... True. You know, Gallagher was a big fish until Carl Palmer came in. And then he's been pushed aside.
Yeah. No, I've always thought he's a what's the word? Steady Eddie kind of player. Like he tries hard. He's got a good work rate, stuff like that. As Chris says again, he was good at Palace, but has he been that amazing at Chelsea? I don't know.
Different levels, Palace to Chelsea, and then Chelsea. It's different levels. You know, 37 games this season, 5 goals, 7 assists for Chelsea. I feel
we're very overloaded with central midfielders anyway. So I think 2 or 3 of them are going to have to leave, and they may do, and then it'll be fine. But right now, I just feel we need to. I'd focus in slightly other areas, but
I just think there's better 24-year-olds out there.
But apparently, Ange wanted him last season as well. So if this is somebody who Ange again, like I said at the start, if this is somebody who Ange really thinks is going to be dynamic in our midfield, then back the manager, get him in. If that's what he wants, he like I say, if he wanted him last season, I think he wanted him in January. So he obviously must really like him for reasons maybe you and I don't see. And that's it. Again, that's what you do by backing a manager. It's not just about the financial numbers. It's about maybe making transfer choices that you don't really understand or agree with. So
yeah, they get paid the big money to do this. We don't. We get we're here and just talk absolute rubbish about football. So yeah,
all right. So that's the dates that are coming up for the transfers, and the fixture list will be out. And there's a bit more with the draw for the Europa League will take place following the conclusion of the playoffs, and that's August 29th.
Yes.
That'll be a couple of weeks after the start of the Premiership this season, won't it?
Yeah, it is. It's not far after at all. See, I don't get this comment either. Everyone thought Tomori was terrible. They went to AC Milan. International. It's like I can't speak. Italian football is completely different from the Premier League. Completely, it's so slow. It's so much slower. You got more time in it. I mean, Chris Smalling's fantastic in the Italian league. You know that says enough.
Yeah, for Roma, isn't it? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he was fantastic in the Italian league, and he was terrible in the Premier League. So, yeah.
I mean, I like Tomori. I actually think you probably should maybe be in the England squad over some of the other defenders. To be honest,
I should be in there over Harry Maguire, 100%.
And this is a United fan talking, so yeah.
You can have Maguire if you want. 50p and a Snickers.
No, we're good, mate. With how Ange plays, the high line Ange plays. Can you imagine him?
I'll tell you what. We'll take Mickey van der Ven off you, because I know you guys don't really like him, and we'll give you Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire, you know, he turns like the Titanic, mate. God knows how many goals we'd ship with playing our high line with Harry Maguire. That would be. Imagine if you had Harry Maguire and Dyer as your centre backs.
Oh, what a Brexit FC.
Let's see what anyone else in the chat saying. Meta Football 50p, no Snickers. Oh man, come on, got to give him at least one bag of Snickers, man.
All right, I'll take one. I'll take 50p and one side of the Twix bar, left or right.
Only half the fingers, half of the Kit Kat fingers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So Boris is saying the difference is Chelsea destroy players and then they leave and become great. Yeah. That happens quite a lot. They flop at Chelsea and then go on to do good stuff. Not Werner, unfortunately for us. I don't think he's not exactly gone anywhere and lit the house on fire anyway.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't, unfortunately.
No. So I think maybe that's it. Com, is there anything else that anyone in the chat? You got any questions for us or anything before we head off?
Meta TV, I'm going to write the contract up and send it over to you later. Spurs now have Harry Maguire for 50p and, you know, a Twix. So half of a Twix. So Spurs is your problem now.
He's reluctantly agreed
or is it Meta's problem?
Yeah.
Is he signed for Spurs, or is he going to be Meta Football TV's personal assistant?
I'd love to have. Wouldn't you love to have Slabber? How would you react if I came on next week and I brought Slabhead with me? Would you be able to actually interact with him without laughing?
No, I wouldn't.
That's great. Yep.
Sure. First Danny Leafy. Okay.
No, it's in closing with the Tottenham transfer. It really is. I know that as Chris said earlier, I know people are getting all their panties in a bunch a little bit because of the Werner stuff. You got to see it all out before anyone goes crazy. I know that it's not the signing that most of us wanted. I know there's some people who are so adamant against the Werner signing that they've kind of said that I'm going to stop supporting Spurs, or this might trigger people being Ange out. We don't know exactly if Ange wants this player. He probably does. I can't be that deluded to think that he probably does. He probably does want him. He probably sees him in training and loves the pace, because we know he loves the pace. That's what Brendan Johnson. He loves that pace. That's what he wants. He wants the pace. So Ange wants that in his team, and that is what Werner gives you. And I'm afraid we've just got to kind of trust the manager and see what the puzzle is like at the end of the window. See who else we've brought in. If we bring in Tony, then maybe the forward line won't seem as dire as it kind of does. It is. I can't hide my disappointment, Calm, really. But I'm willing to see the full. What on September 1st or whenever the transfer window ends, then we'll see where we all stand. But no, it's not the lightning rod, I suppose, that's gonna bring.
This is the last thing I'm gonna say. Just think your front three next season could be Johnson on one wing, Tony through the middle, and Werner on the other side.
Do you think we sell Son then?
I don't know if you sell Son. I just don't think he gets as much game time.
Do you winding him down a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. I think you keep him for your important games, your Arsenals at home and Cities and stuff like that.
And I suppose the last question on this, Com, because if there is a marquee signing for Spurs, who do you think it will be? If there is a marquee signing,
well, it's hard to describe.
We normally do one a year. Like last year, I suppose James Maddison, was a marquee signing last year, even though he wasn't as impressive as Van der Ven or Vicario, but he was kind of the marquee signing. who do you think it would be this year? Who are you going to spend 50 million on? Because that's normally as high as we go on this one player every year.
I think I don't know, to be honest with you. Santiago Jimenez, maybe. I think he'd be a good shout. Yeah, instead of Tony. It all depends on what he's doing price range wise. I don't know. I'm trying to think as well.
It's difficult, isn't it?
It is. It's very difficult, to be fair.
Chris has put Eze. I mean, I just think there's bigger fish in from Chris, mate. Yeah.
Obviously, it's not going to be Marcus Rashford because he's not.
That would split the player base.
Oh, he's not going to Spurs at all. He's probably going to be staying at United, unfortunately. I don't know.
I would love Elise. I think bigger fish are in for him as well, but I would have loved Elise on the wings. I'll be honest. He would be one of my first choices, but I think
I still don't think that Cambiasso fella is done yet either.
His thing is, he's a wing back though, so he's a wing back. So we would convert him to a winger then, or do you mean to play as a fullback?
I think he plays as a fullback. But yeah, I don't know. There's something about that deal that I think is going to happen. I don't know what. Because I think he's worth about 35 to 40 million. Oh, it's 25 million. Okay.
I mean, MetaFootball was just put in the chat, Gimenez Tony, then you put Maguire. So that last one is a troll, I'm assuming, Chris.
No, Maguire, bang on. Yes, Maguire, 145 million pounds. Yeah, he's renewed his contract because he was in his final year of his contract, so I didn't want to lose him on a free.
Well, what you say? Of course, it was Chris. You've seen some fans, bruv. Some fans really throw some strange things out there. Okay, I guess that's it then, Com. Thanks for joining us, mate. And
no problem.
It's my first time kind of doing this, so bear with me as I learn all the tricks of the trade. It is my first time kind of hosting, I suppose. But thanks for joining me, Com, and helping us out, mate.
Always a pleasure, mate. Always love coming on and winding up opposition fans.
Oh, that's fine, yeah. But we want the banter. Again, guys, I hate to keep doing it, but I got to plug Patreon because we're having problems with YouTube. So Patreon at the top, if anyone's willing to do it, because the membership has frozen for now, but we'll sort it out soon. It just takes a little bit of time. Yeah, we've got Patreon at the top. If you guys could leave a like to our channels. Com, you're Full-Time Sports Network, aren't you? And do you want to plug your other channel?
I'm at Full-Time Sports Network. If you want to come over there, as you can see, we've got 839 subscribers. We're trying to get to 1,000 as quickly as what we possibly can. And if you want to hear me talk waffle and rage about Manchester United, feel free to come over to Spotlight MUFC. That is my other channel. And obviously Double Dum Gaming with the Great Tequilas on there as well. And Dermo and Rebel. And we've got loads of people involved in that. So, yeah.
Yep. And there's going to be, I think there's going to be some funny F1 content coming on that channel. Even if you're not a fan of F1, then you'll still probably enjoy it, I think. It's going to be a bunch of crazy people trying to beat each other in that game. So that'll be coming. That'll be a laugh. And also, I do have my own kind of podcast channel with one of my friends. We just talk about the games industry. So we go a bit more in depth with like the game industry and what's going on, the pros and cons. And that's at the Play Pouch channel, just at the Play Pouch on YouTube. So we've only got 72 subs, so still trying to grow, trying to hit the magic 100, Com, and then you can then worry about hitting the magic 1,000.
Yeah.
So that would be great if anyone could sub. So I think that's it. I think we've all plugged the stuff. Thanks to everybody in the chat, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks again, Com.
No worries. Bye.
Bye.